Good morning, everyone. This is Kulbhushan, shooting a next episode of 360 Degree Finance from the mountains. So probably don't get confused. This is still 360 Degree Finance, not 360 Degree Travel. So in today's videos, we will be covering the topic about lending. So how do banks, NBFCs, and the financial institution try to lend? So give me a little brief about that. Talking about, since I belong to Delhi, Delhi is around about 1,000 crore market every month for loan against property. So there are a number of players. So how do different kind of banks survive in this environment? So every bank has identified their own niche. So if every bank decides to lend to every damn person out there in the market, then probably the bank with the best rate of interest, or probably the best cost of deposit for the bank, probably would be having the market share of 80-90%. But then that's not how the financial markets survive, or banks or financial institutions survive. Each of them have identified their niche. Probably talking about probably Citibank, bank like HDFC, Stancy, try to lend to the absolutely top tier of the market, the best of the quality, best credit ratings, best repayment clients. So how do they do it? They do it by looking at the papers. So probably if you go to a Stancy or probably a Citibank won't be lending to probably a real estate broker. They also have their areas identified in different markets of Delhi, that probably they won't be lending it to say an area like Rohini in Delhi, or they are certain more areas. So they are pretty choosy. But when they choose, when they select you as a customer, then probably they will be giving you the best rates. So we have divided this segment into three parts. Primarily, how do they differentiate from the financial perspective? Secondly, how do they differentiate from product perspective? Thirdly, how do they differentiate from the property perspective? So I will be talking about the first part here, the financial perspective, in this video. So how does the bank differentiate between various kind of businesses? So we have three kind of businesses. How do they operate in their cash flows? Say for example, type A company, which have their 100% cash flows coming directly into their account. So for example, a software company like a TCS or Infosys, or probably we are talking about the small scale industries. They are almost 100% of income is falling into their accounts, or probably a manufacturers who is dealing absolutely in through checks only and not giving anything in cash. Then probably a gray area, which whereby you can divide that, probably out of, say, if they have a turnover of 100 crores, so 70 crores is coming into white, 30 crore in cash. And then probably we have certain areas whereby 30 crores in cash and 70 crores in white. So how do bank quantify their business? Because exactly not entire business is falling into their balance sheet or profit loss account. So how do we quantify them? Like, say for example, if somebody is showing a turnover of 30 crores and we know that probably he has some business of 70 crores, but it's not in the balance sheet, so how do we lend them? And then there is a type C companies, whereby not companies, they are mostly individuals, where their entire income is falling into in the cash. They are landlords in the various parts of Delhi, or probably other parts of India as well, whereby they have several buildings, entire income coming from in the form of rentals, everything in cash, starting from small ticket size of 10, 12, 15,000, people operating PGs, and probably people operating small kirana stores as well. They love not you're not going to a kirana store, nearby kirana store, and giving him a check of, say, 20 rupees to buy a packet of leaves, right? So, and he's also not cutting a bill for you. So probably there are three types of company: type A, B, and C. A means probably A in this video would mean everything in white, all their income, all their receivables are coming directly to their account. Type B, which is a gray area, depending on what kind of business you are, 90-10, 70-30, or 30-70 is in the ratio of white is to black. And then type C, that is absolutely nothing into their bank account, probably a car workshop, right? They are receiving everything into through their cash only, and nothing is coming into their account. And a couple of years back, in fact, almost 60% of jewelers, I guess, this is my guess, 60% of jewelers were almost dealing in cash. I could hardly find someone who will be giving a check to probably a jeweler, or probably a couple of years back to a banquet hall as well. So that will be a type C company. So probably what we can see is that probably type A companies are the companies which will be demanding the best rate of interest from the financial institution. Say for example, if my company is a type A company, I would be running through the list of banks and financial institution. If I say require a term loan or working capital facility, the one who would be giving me the best rate of interest, I would be choosing that bank, right? So because my income is falling entirely into my papers, right? If I'm a type B company, probably I may say that probably 50 crores is coming into my books, and I have also another business of 50 crores which is into cash. Bank may or may not be able to justify that kind of income, but for a type A company, they can actually look into my papers and get their issue work done and do their financial eligibility check also, and they can give me loan very easily because the numbers are very crystal clear. So if you talk about banks like Citibank, SDFC, Deutsche Bank, Sansi, they normally lend it to the type A companies. Because their costing is also pretty low. Talking about this, today's scenario, loan against property from Citibank is also close to 7.1, 7.2, and similarly Kotak and SDFC are also matching those kind of a rate. So a type A companies, three type of banks probably who are fighting for such kind of a pie: SDFC, Stancy, and not Stancy, SDFC, Kotak, and Citibank. These are the banks who are probably fighting for the maximum pie of such kind of lending. I'm specifically not choosing to comment about PSUs because PSUs have different kind of functionality. Talking specifically, the kind of property that they mortgage, or probably the kind of papers that they do require, and they are also not very aggressive into the market. So if I am a type A company, I would be needing a bank which is offering me the lowest rate of interest, right? I would not be going to a bank B or bank C if they are offering me even let's say like 20, 30, 40 basis point higher, because my books are crystal clear. You can quantify my income. I'm not the kind of category which will be saying that I have 50 crores in my books and 50 crores in cash. So you can quantify me, so give me the best rate of interest. And for the best quality customers, we have the banks with the lowest rate of deposits, right? So probably the banks which are fighting most aggressively for such kind of customers would be SDFC, Kotak, and probably Citibank, because their rates for in today's market for LAP is somewhere close to between 7.1 to 7.4. If find the customer is good, they would be giving such kind of rates. Then comes the part B, that is type B customer, and almost like we can quantify 60% of customers in I guess northern India belongs to this category, right? So their part of income, it can be like 10 to 90 to 95% is coming to their accounts, and there is another part which is not coming to their account. So the real challenge is how do we quantify that X, that if 100 minus X is your a white income, how do we quantify that X? That say for example, for a company out of 100 crores, 5 crores is a cash accrual. That is probably a easier case. We also have cases whereby 50 crores, say approximately 50% is into cash dealings. How do we quantify such kind of customers? So bank have different products for that. NBFC has LIP, that is liquid income program, whereby they have a certain third party tie-ups with chartered accountants who visit their place and then give a multiplier for their income. It can be 2, 3 or 4. Say for example, your net income is like 20 lakhs. They might be giving a multiplier of say 3. So your net income would be treated as 60, and then they would be applying the other factors to give you the lending. So that's how the bank lend. And normally say Yes Bank, IndusInd Bank, or financial institutions, NBFCs like PNB Housing, Tata Capital, probably Bajaj also in certain categories, try to lend such kind of customers. Then there would be type C, which are absolutely cash kind of customers. Their ratings cannot be quantified, their income cannot be actually quantified. This absolutely in cash. Probably say if I'm a landlord, I say that probably I receive 5 lakhs of rental every month. How do you quantify it? I will be giving you say rental deeds, but those will be probably not notarized. So quantifying the cash income is not very easy. So most of the bank take a factor of 50% if they find the customer is good, right? So they take a factor of 50%, and then say if you say my income is 2 lakh, if you are able to provide documents, certain kind of documents that my income is 2 lakhs, they would be saying that probably your income is 1 lakh, and then they will be lending to them. not everybody is lending for all those kind of banks. Probably the one lending would be initially like Capital First or Cholamandalam. These are the kind of probably NBFC, or there are certain startups also who are providing small ticket loans like 3, 4, 5 lakhs to kirana stores and certain similar sector also. So these are the three types of company: type A, B, and C, and how do banks target them. One important thing which I missed in between the video was how do bank try to lend them. Say for example, how do the bank quantify their income if it is not coming into the accounts? So certain times bank have the product like a banking program. Say if you are managing a good bank balance, say for example you are managing a bank balance of 30, 40, 50 lakhs, right? So bank can actually quantify that if you are not using your income that is coming into your account and it is lying idle into your account and maintaining a good average balance, then bank can actually give a certain kind of indication that yes, this customer has certain kind of income, and we can treat their bank balance as a sort of income only. So if you are managing say an income of 20 lakh rupees in an account, bank would give a certain multiplier that probably 50% or 60% or 70% of that can be treated as an income, and then their other ratios would come in and then give you the lending kind of a thing. So in this video what we have covered is how do bank differentiate for a type A, B and C customer, A being 100% white, B being a little gray area, and C is absolutely black, there is nothing coming into the white, and which are the banks who are targeting which kind of customers. So each bank and institution have a different kind of a niche, and then they target those niche with their own kind of a products. So different bank had different survival rate. That is why we say that whenever the crisis comes, probably the banks with the type A customers would survive the best because they have everything in white and their business is crystal clear. Then would be type B, and the worst affected would be type C. So you can see that probably after say last lockdown in Corona in 2020, the banks with the maximum type A customers, HDFC, Kotak, Citi and certain more banks who had type A customers, they took the least amount of moratorium. And similarly, if you go towards NBFCs or probably banks like I'm not aware about the actual figures like IndusInd or Yes Bank, their lending was more towards type B and C customers. So they took a larger duration of moratorium, some probably extended to 3, 4, 5 months, and even after they required certain kind of restructuring, which may or may not have happened. But that's how different banks and institutions survive in this very cutthroat market area. That is how they actually lend to their customers, and it actually boils down to their cost of deposit. If your cost of deposit is low, you can actually target the type A customer who is looking for the least rate of interest. But if your cost of deposit is high, say for example I took names of NBFCs like PNB Housing or IndusInd Bank, they normally in their saving account also you're getting 6% interest. So if you talk about say PNB Housing, their FDRs, their corporate deposits would normally be at least 100 or 150 basis points higher than the normal bank deposits. So their cost of deposits, if it is on the higher side, then they would not be able to lend to type A customers. Everybody would want to lend to type A customers, but since their cost of deposit is high, they are not able to lend. So then they need to identify their own niche area. Say now we have identified our own niche area that probably will be lending to not type A, type B. Then they quantify that which kind of industry will be lending. It is not like for type B, everybody is comfortable giving loans to at this point of time struggling real estate industry, or probably gems and jewelry is a segment which is 90% of time banks are not very comfortable to lending them because their stock audit is not very crystal clear thing. So banks somehow try to stay away from certain segments, and probably such kind of financial institutions lend to such businesses, right? So this is all about how do banks survive and how do banks lend to different kind of customers. In the next video I would be covering about how do they mortgage, how do they quantify which is the best kind of mortgage available to the bank. All right, so bye bye from Chanchal Pass. I'm still saying that this is from 360 Degree Finance, not 360 Degree Travel. Bye bye.